Max Richter's Daylight, the classical song that soothes the mind. Have you ever heard a piece of music that felt like it just got you? A single song that could hold your deepest sorrow and your most resilient hope, all at the same time? For millions, this is that song. It's a 6-minute piece for strings that has become a global anthem for heartbreak and for healing. You've heard it in the biggest moments of cinema, from the shocking conclusion of Shutter Island to the heart-wrenching revelations in Arrival. It's become a kind of cultural shorthand, a signal that you're about to witness a moment of profound, unfiltered human emotion. But what is it about these simple, flowing notes that gives them so much power? Well, it's not an accident. There's a hidden science and a compositional genius at work. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Max Richter's On the Nature of Daylight. And you might be surprised to find that its incredible power to calm us is rooted in protest, minimalism, and a deep understanding of the human brain. The first time you really listen to On the Nature of Daylight, it feels less like a discovery and more like a memory. The slow, yearning melody is instantly familiar, tapping into a universal language of emotion. That's exactly why it's become one of the most sought-after pieces in modern film and TV. When a director needs to show us grief, loss, or a fragile glimmer of hope without a single word, they turn to this. Think about its use in Denis Villeneuve's Arrival. The music opens and closes the film, first introducing a mother's devastating loss. Later, reframing that exact same loss as a beautiful, chosen path. The music isn't just playing in the background, it is the emotional core. In the same way, Martin Scorsese uses it to underscore the tragic climax of Shutter Island. It's appeared in dozens of films and television shows, including emotionally gut-wrenching scenes in The Last of Us and The Handmaid's Tale. This isn't a case of Hollywood being repetitive, it's a testament to the music's incredible, narrative openness. The song is built in a way that supports powerful visuals without ever getting in their way. It's an emotional undercurrent, creating what Max Richter himself calls a listening space to think. It gives us room to process what we're seeing and, more importantly, what we're feeling. This has created a fascinating cultural phenomenon. For many of us, those opening notes are a Pavlovian trigger for tears. And yet, we don't turn away. We lean in. The song has become more than music, it's a shared experience. It's a sonic sanctuary where melancholy and quiet reflection are not only allowed but understood. To see why it works so well, we need to look past the screen and into the notes themselves. So, how did he do it? How did Max Richter write a piece that feels so timeless? The answer lies in his style, a blend of old and new, often called post-minimalism. At its heart, minimalism in music is about doing more with less. It uses short, repeated musical phrases that change very, very slowly. Think of composers like Steve Reich or Philip Glass, whose music can feel almost hypnotic. Richter takes that foundation but infuses it with a warmth and emotional beauty that's all his own. He once said he wanted a musical language that was plain spoken, stripping away all the clutter to get to the raw, honest core of an idea. On the Nature of Daylight is a masterclass in this. The whole piece is built on a simple, repeating chord progression that creates a sense of gentle, circular motion. It doesn't push forward to a massive climax, it just unfolds. Like a slow, deep breath. That repetition is the key. It's not boring, it's meditative. Our brains are pattern-finding machines, and because we can predict where the music is going, our minds can relax. We stop trying to figure out what's next and just exist inside the sound. On top of that foundation, Richter layers his melodies. The lead cello and violin are where the real heart of the piece lives. They are, in his words, consciously beautiful, inspired by the soaring, emotional lines of Baroque composers like Bach. The string players use a technique that gives the notes a rich, almost human-like warmth. It's a sound that feels both incredibly intimate and as vast as the sky. Finally, he adds atmosphere. Using reverb and subtle electronics, Richter makes the track sound like it's echoing in a vast, sacred space. It's this combination, the meditative loops of minimalism, the raw emotion of a beautiful melody, and the atmospheric production, that creates the song's signature soothing quality. Richter himself described harmony as a form of medicine, a way to create pockets of calm in a very noisy world. The emotional punch of this piece isn't just art, it's also backed by neuroscience. The techniques Richter uses have a direct and measurable effect on our brains, calming our nervous systems and guiding us into a state of deep focus. When we listen to a predictable, looping pattern, our brainwaves can actually synchronize with the music. It's a process called entrainment, and it can create a state of mind that's similar to deep meditation or a great conversation. Our brains aren't working hard to guess what's coming next, which frees up mental energy and allows for reflection. In a world of constant, jarring noise, the clean, simple lines of Richter's music are a safe harbor for our minds. Neuroscience has found that minimalist environments, both what we see and what we hear, can actually lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol. With fewer distractions, our brain's attention networks can function more effectively, allowing for the kind of deep thought the music is famous for. This idea is central to Richter's work. His 8-hour album, Sleep, was created with the science of rest in mind. Designed as an 8-hour lullaby to support our natural sleep cycles. On the Nature of Daylight works in a similar way while we're awake. It seems to bypass our analytical brain and speak directly to our emotional core. As Richter puts it, music can get past our internal sensor and go straight to the heart. It doesn't force an emotion on you. Instead, it creates a safe and stable space for your own feelings to surface. You bring your own life, your own story, to the piece, and the music simply holds that experience without judgment. While we experience this music as something deeply personal, its origins are rooted in a global, political moment. To really understand its power, we have to go back to 2003, when Richter composed the album It Comes From, The Blue Notebooks. The album was his response to the lead-up to the Iraq War. He has been very clear that it is a protest record and an anti-violence record. He was disturbed by a political climate where facts seemed to be tossed aside and war was presented as the only option. The album became his meditation on the futility of conflict. This context changes everything. The sadness in the music is suddenly not just for a personal loss, but for a collective, human one. The melancholy is a response to a world choosing brutality. The strings were reportedly recorded just a week after the massive anti-war marches in February 2003. Richter feeling it was utterly necessary to be saying something about what was going on. The album's title is a nod to Franz Kafka's The Blue Octavo Notebooks, and the music is interwoven with readings from Kafka and Miłosz. These readings speak of doubt, uncertainty, and destruction. Knowing this, On the Nature of Daylight transforms. The hope tucked inside its soaring melodies becomes something tougher, more resilient. It's not a naive optimism. It's a defiant belief in empathy and beauty in the face of ugliness. It's a quiet, dignified protest. It doesn't scream, it reflects. It doesn't rage, it mourns, and in that mourning, it finds a profound and unbreakable strength. The piece soothes us, not by helping us escape the world, but by acknowledging its pain and offering a space to find our own humanity within it. So, what gives these simple notes such incredible power? On the Nature of Daylight works on many levels at once. It's a cinematic icon that gives emotional weight to our favorite stories. It's a masterpiece of composition, using repetition and melody to build an architecture of calm. It's a piece of applied neuroscience, using patterns to soothe our minds. At its very core, it's a powerful statement about violence and hope. Max Richter created more than a song. He created a place to think. A sonic refuge in which our personal heartbreaks and our shared human struggles can coexist. He built a piece of music that doesn't tell you what to feel but gives you permission to feel it. It's a work that meets you exactly where you are, whether you're in grief, in hope, or somewhere in between. And maybe that's the real genius of On the Nature of Daylight. It doesn't try to fix you. It doesn't promise an escape from the pain. Instead, it stands beside you in that pain, holding it with you, and quietly reminding you that there is still beauty, still light. It's proof that the quietest voices can sometimes be the most powerful. That in a world constantly shouting for attention, the softest whisper can reach the deepest part of the soul. And it's a reminder that even when the night feels endless, there is always, always daylight. So now I ask you, where were you the first time this piece truly found you? Did it arrive in a dark theater? In the privacy of your headphones? Did it make you cry, or did it make you breathe easier? Tell your story in the comments below.